Hello and welcome to another edition of King Joe's. One of the other reasons why I got into comic books, I used to like to draw. And as you've noticed, this is a painting I did back in the middle of the 1990s. One of my favorite hockey players was Mario Lemieux. So I did this in oil. And coming around, I showed this in the last episode when I did my Green Lanterns. I actually painted this in oil and there's some glow-in-the-dark acrylic on it. It's actually a cover of one of the Green Lantern books, and actually the background's off of a Star Trek card. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out my portfolio and show you a bunch of stuff I used to be, I haven't picked up a paintbrush in like over 15 years now. But right before my mom passed away for Christmas, she bought me an airbrush kit. This is going back 6.5 years ago. And because she wanted me to do paintings for her and all and stuff, and it was funny because my mom told me, she says, I'll never finish it before she dies. And I was like, yeah, I will. Well, my mom went in for an operation until 20 days later my mom passed away. But I vowed that I will finish the painting for her once I get all settled up, and that's something I plan to do. But I'm going to show you my portfolio. Okay, well, we're going to look at what I had in my portfolio now. Now, this is I can draw anything I look at, so or recreate anything I look at to any size. So, but this was something my art teacher had me start doing. I don't know. Let's see if you guys can see. But it was a hawk I started drawing, and of course she had me stop because I started pegging it, and she was like, "Okay, we're done." Then this was just stuff I messed around with for a while. This was actually in school. I used to sit those in the back of my notebook. How well you can see. This is actually Natasha Kinski from the cover of a Playboy book. I don't know how well you can see that. But then I started drawing big ass poster board photos. This one was actually going to be for my daughter to put in her room. You can see the scope Care Bears. That's a blank. I did this actually in watercolor in art class. It's actually a Lady Death. And I did this, and this was actually one of the chrome trading cards I blew up to poster board size. And I don't know if I'm supposed to show this on eBay. This was and this one I did. I thought it'd be cool to get the three different poses from 3 different comic books I saw. So I threw them together and created the Spider-Men. And of course I got my tribute to Batman over in the back. This was one I started, but I just like, no. And I was telling you on the one episode, oh yeah, that's right, it hasn't been posted yet. Because I was told I should wait and post some of my videos, like every so many days. So I've been doing like 2 every so many days. But I took the Wolverine Gambit cover and changed it into a Pittsburgh Steeler crushing a Dallas Cowboy player. Oh yeah, Tempest done in acrylic paint with airbrush work. Then I have my tribute to one of my favorite comic books, Blue Beetle #1. I did that on giant size poster board. Guardians of the Galaxy. Zealot. And then just another lady, because I actually, in order to do the Lady Death, I actually had to draw it on a piece of poster board and then transfer it over to a piece of watercolor board. So I had to draw it on one, use transfer paper, then transfer the outline on the other one, then paint it. So I actually got two for the price of one on it. But this one I made more of a witch than Lady Death, so I colored this differently. And I have some of the work that my teacher told me I should get framed, so I got it like matted. Which there's this. This was actually a model from a cover of Insight Sport magazine. This was on, I think, a Lady Death issue. I don't remember what X-Men book this was from, but I drew Magneto. Spidey. This was on a Green Lantern Quarterly. And you can see my Wolverine that I and that does it for stuff, because actually over the years I actually sold a couple pieces too. That's the funny part. I did a girl I went to school with. I was actually in a job retraining program. I did her grandson. Sold that. I actually gave away a thing of the pyramids to somebody who was doing a book report on Egypt. There was a guy that my dad worked with, his daughter. I actually have upstairs, I did a pen and ink drawing of the Eiffel Tower, but I'm not going to run upstairs because I just want to like relax down here for a while. In another episode I'll show that pen and ink drawing. Back in the day, you know, that's one of the things too I liked about comic, because it gave me a lot of reference material. You know, you had to go look for a guy running. Well, hey, you got a comic book. At least you got a, a decent of a guy running, especially with Flash comics. I plan to start drawing again when I get all set up, finish my mom's painting, because I actually had a painting that I sold. Well, a guy I know. He sold cards, and he made me a deal that if I painted a portrait of him, he'd give me this I think it was the 1980 basketball set. It's the one with Larry Bird and Magic Johnson rookie, and he gave it to me for $100. At the time it booked for $400. So I told him, yeah, well, for 2 years I had his painting sitting on my drafting table. I was never happy with it. When my mom and my dad kept asking me, I'm like, I'm not ready. I painted his face over like 7 or 8 times. I mean, I just was not, and to this day I'm still not happy with it. But my mom and my dad made me go down, because the only guy only lived a block and a half from me, made me go down to his house, and I said, okay, his name is Mr. Pritchett, and I used to call him Mr. P. And I go, and I said, Mr. P. I go, my mom and dad, and my dad drove me, wanted me to know if you paint, because I never thought I'd get it from you. I said, that's been sitting on my drafting table. I said, I'm just never happy with it. He looked at it, and he was like, it's great. And I was like, he wanted it then and there, but I had to go shellac, fix a mat on it to make sure the paint stays. So I actually went back home, sprayed it. Next day I gave it back to him, and I still ain't happy with that painting to this day, but he loved it. And that just shows you one of the reasons I like comic books so much is not only because of the read, it's because of reference material for me used to be for drawing. And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that loves comic books just for the read, but also for the artwork, and likes to doodle the stuff on it. So that's just another thought. And as always, thanks everybody out there for subscribing, viewing. and sending me comments. I love your post. So all you guys take care.